Russia's new war gamble against Ukraine revealed as Putin appears to unleash another dangerous strategy on the battlefield. Putin mocks Zelensky with Russia's new Ukrainian brigade, raising questions about Moscow's controversial use of captured forces. Could captured Ukrainian soldiers now be turned into Russian fighters and sent back into the war against their own country? Is Putin's reported strategy designed to force Ukrainian prisoners of war into fighting Zelensky's forces, creating a shocking new battlefield dilemma? Russia turns up the heat on Ukraine once again, leaving Zelensky under mounting pressure as Moscow intensifies its military campaign. Russia has formed a new military unit that reportedly includes Ukrainian prisoners of war, adding a controversial new dimension to the battlefield. The new formation was reportedly announced by the Russian Defense Ministry's Volunteer Corps amid the ongoing war with Ukraine. On August 6, Russia announced the formation of the 1st Ukrainian Special Purpose Volunteer Brigade, according to reports. The newly announced Russian brigade reportedly includes Ukrainian prisoners of war alongside former Ukrainian servicemen who are now serving with Moscow. The Russian formation was reportedly created by merging several irregular Russian volunteer units operating in the conflict. These units reportedly include the Maxim Krivonos and Alexei Beres battalions, according to reports. The Institute for the Study of War had previously documented a similar Russian move involving Ukrainian prisoners in November 2022. In 2023, Russia also reportedly formed a Bohdan Khmelnytsky battalion that included Ukrainian prisoners of war. The reported brigade has once again raised serious questions over how Ukrainian prisoners of war are being treated and used by Russia. Russia has not publicly provided clear details on how the prisoners of war allegedly defected or agreed to serve in Moscow's forces. Under the Geneva Convention, prisoners of war are protected from being compelled to participate in military operations against their own side. The development comes as Russian President Vladimir Putin continues expanding his air power and military capabilities amid an intensifying war. Russia's Su-34 fighter bomber is drawing renewed attention after reports claimed it could be integrated with a long-range Kh-101 cruise missile. The reported combination could blur the traditional distinction between tactical strike fighters and strategic bomber aircraft in Russia's arsenal. Reports said the Kh-101's reported 5,500-kilometer range could allow Su-34 aircraft to launch deep strikes without entering NATO-controlled airspace. Twin-seat multi-role fighter bomber developed from the Su-27 flanker airframe for long-range strike operations. Reported combat radius of around 1,100 kilometers, while carrying a standard precision strike payload. Ferry range can reportedly reach up to 8,000 kilometers with external fuel tanks and reduced combat load. Compatible with glide bombs, cruise missiles, and a wide range of precision-guided weapons for standoff attacks. Air-launched long-range cruise missile developed for precision deep strike missions against strategic targets. Reported strike range of up to 5,500 kilometers, enabling attacks far beyond the launch aircraft's combat radius. Uses a low observable terrain following flight profile designed to reduce radar detection and improve survivability. Reportedly available in both conventional and nuclear-capable variants, giving it strategic and tactical strike roles. Analysts said the standoff pairing could complicate NATO's defense planning by expanding Russia's ability to launch long-range attacks from safer distances. The Su-34 has already been used extensively in Ukraine to deliver glide bombs and long-range precision missiles against targets behind the front line. Air-launched long-range cruise missile designed for deep penetration precision strikes against strategic land targets. Reported range of up to 5,500 kilometers, allowing launch aircraft to engage targets from well outside hostile airspace. Low observable terrain following flight profile helps reduce radar detection and improve survivability against air defenses. Reported conventional and nuclear-capable variants provide flexibility for both strategic deterrence and long-range strike missions. Russia is also expanding Su-34 production while incorporating combat lessons learned during the war in Ukraine into newer aircraft. The reported development has raised questions over whether Moscow is reshaping its long-range airstrike doctrine for future conflicts. Defense analysts said the platform could significantly expand Russia's ability to conduct standoff precision strikes against targets across Europe. Meanwhile, Russian forces continue unleashing waves of missiles and drones against Ukraine's capital Kyiv, keeping pressure on the city amid the escalating war. Russia launched an overnight attack on Kyiv on August 8, killing 3 people, including a child, as Russian drones struck targets across the capital region. Deadly strikes hit the Brovary district east of Kyiv, leaving more than 3 people injured as the overnight Russian assault spread across the area, according to the Kyiv Independent. The attack damaged residential buildings and vehicles, while fires broke out across the region as emergency teams rushed to respond to the aftermath of the strikes. Ukraine's Air Force warned residents shortly after midnight as Russian drones approached Kyiv, triggering fresh alerts across the capital and surrounding areas. Explosions were reported in Kyiv from around 12:45 a.m., with further blasts following as Russian drones continued their overnight assault on the capital. The attack came just 2 days after another major Russian strike killed 17 people in Kyiv, adding to fears of a growing wave of attacks against the Ukrainian capital. Ukraine's worsening air defense crisis is leaving Kyiv increasingly vulnerable to ballistic missiles, as Russian forces continue to combine drones with heavier weapons. Ukraine intercepted only 29 of the 195 ballistic missiles launched by Russia against the country in July, highlighting the scale of the challenge facing its air defenses. On August 8, Russia's defense ministry claimed its forces had established control over Aniskino in the Kharkiv region, pointing to continued pressure along the battlefield. Meanwhile, Russia revealed that its S-400 air defense systems had destroyed 24 Ukrainian aircraft in a single week during 2023, according to newly reported details from a Russian military journal. Senior Russian military officials have revealed new details about how S-400 systems were reportedly used during the Ukraine war. A Russian Ministry of Defense journal claimed S-400 systems destroyed 24 Ukrainian aircraft during a single week in 2023. The figures were reportedly published in Voronaya MYSL, a Russian military journal associated with the country's defense establishment. The reported total included a striking claim that 10 Ukrainian MiG-29 fighter jets were destroyed in just 1 day. According to the account, Russian forces positioned S-400 launchers in concealed locations rather than deploying them from conventional air defense positions. The tactic reportedly relied on targeting information from external sensors to detect and engage Ukrainian aircraft at extended ranges. Russia's A-50U airborne early warning aircraft was reportedly among the systems providing long-range targeting information to S-400 batteries. This network allegedly allowed Russian air defenses to engage Ukrainian aircraft shortly after they took off, before pilots expected to enter an engagement zone. The method reportedly created an unexpected air defense zone that Ukrainian pilots may not have anticipated during their missions. The remaining 14 aircraft included in the reported total of 24 were not specifically identified in the Russian military journal. The figures broadly correspond with claims previously made by then Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu in October 2023 regarding Ukrainian aircraft losses. The disclosure suggests that Russia may have used concealed S-400 positions and external targeting networks as a key tactic for ambushing Ukrainian aircraft. However, the figures remain Russian claims and do not independently establish the exact number, types, or identities of the aircraft allegedly destroyed. The revelations come as Russian President Vladimir Putin has approved a major political and military leadership reshuffle, adding another layer to Moscow's evolving war strategy.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.